It's been almost a year since I made my debut as a Disney Fine Artist at the Promenade VIP show in Orlando, Florida, October 2025. Since then, I've met collectors from all over the world. I've made friends with a ton of different artists, and I've painted over 30 Disney Fine Art paintings. But reflecting back on that event, it was definitely a nerve-wracking experience, but at the same time, super exciting and a dream come true. So in 2025, I decided this is going to be the year I'm going to pursue this Disney Fine Art dream that I've had. I started making my sample paintings and putting them out there on social media, and I finally got the attention of Disney Fine Art. I met with them around July, and they brought me on board, with my first show and my debut being October for this Promenade VIP show. So I had about 3 months to kind of get everything ready and make as many paintings as I could to debut at this show. I went home and I started painting like crazy and just trying to make the absolute best work that I could leading up to this event. So when the day finally did arrive, I remember getting to the hotel, and I got there early during the day, and I went to go check out the ballroom where the event was taking place later that night. And I walked into this ballroom. The lights were all turned off, and you see all the different panels and sections for the artists that I had been following and I'd admired for years. And then there in the back is my display, and seeing all the Disney Fine Art pieces, the 14 pieces I had worked on for months, framed and displayed and all together and varnished and looking good, was a really, really memorable and an awesome experience to see that. I was really proud of the work I put together, and it was nice to see it there all in the same place. So the first night of this event is a preview night where all the collectors can come out and kind of meet the artists and see the work that's available. And I was really nervous in my hotel room before coming down. But then when I did come down, kind of all those nerves dissipated, and I was super excited to be there. My booth mates were other Disney Fine artist, Ariane Belay, who's a Disney Fine artist, and Bob Duchette was on my other side. Super great guy. So it was super fun being there next to them for my debut, and they were very welcoming and supportive and just fun to hang out with. And then in the preview night, actually talking to all the collectors and kind of getting to know them and telling them my story, that was a lot of fun. So as part of this event, I was supposed to paint live, and knowing that I'm like a mega planner in my studio and very methodical with my process, I ended up taking a color study, my underpainting, a finished drawing, and my intention was to work on this Princess and the Frog Bayou Band painting that I had planned. And so I had my paint set up, and I brought all my supplies, but the reality is it was very little painting because most of my time was spent talking to collectors and other artists and just making connections and having these discussions. But I did try to paint a little bit, and I did have everything set up, but I didn't get to paint as much as I thought I would. So the highlight of this event for me, probably the biggest highlight, was having my family there. My two sisters are probably amongst my two sisters and my wife are my biggest supporters. They're like my number one fans, the ones that I kind of share all the work with as I'm doing it, that kind of give me feedback, encouragement, that were like kind of pushing me along the whole way. So my sisters, were not part of this event, but they found a way to stay in the hotel and kind of get into this event as it was happening. And I had my niece there and my dad, and then my wife and my kids came the second day while we had a Halloween party. So it was fun to have my wife there with me, who is a huge supporter and so encouraging of my art and my dreams and pursuing this. So having my wife there was awesome. And then the one person I didn't get to have there was my mom, and I thought about her a lot leading up to this event. And while I was there the whole weekend, my mom passed away 3 years prior to this, and when I was in high school, she gave me the book The Illusion of Life by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson and wrote a dedication to me in the front of the book where she said that, she wanted me to pursue my dreams of being an artist and a painter, and that she would always be there by my side. So, you know, I would have loved for her to be there with me in this moment. I thought about her so much, and but I know she was with me in my heart and my family, and hopefully she's seeing all this from somewhere. But I didn't get to have her there that weekend, and I thought about her a lot while I was there. The other cool thing was hanging out with the Disney fine artist. Tim Rogerson is a guy that I've followed his career for a long time, and I mentioned my booth mates, the ones that were next to me, the new Disney fine artists that were there as well. Jared Franco was a super cool guy who gave me a lot of advice as I was kind of getting into this. So kind of hanging out with them was awesome. And Rodel Gonzalez, whose work I have followed for a long time, and I've loved for a long time, and James Coleman, they were there. So for me, it was kind of surreal. Oh, and while I was there, Trevor Carlton, who I've also followed for a long time, had all the Disney fine artists kind of signing this banner that he put together. So he's like asking me to sign the banner, and I wrote my name and drew a little picture of Goofy. So that was a really, really cool experience. So the final, or the second night of this show is the purchase night, where the collectors come into the ballroom with their dots, and they kind of pick the pieces they'd like to purchase. And that was nerve-wracking because you don't know what's going to happen, and I didn't know what was going to happen with my pieces. But, as soon as the doors opened, I got my first dot, and the Hook painting was the first painting to sell, or to go to a new home and a new collector. And then after that, a bunch more went. By the end of the weekend, I think 9 of my paintings found new homes. So for me, the results were about as good as I could have imagined. I mean, to have collectors connect with my work and my debut show was a really awesome experience. So that was another super nice part of this debut show. Was I kind of made friends with all these collectors. These are Disney fans, people that connected with my artwork, with what I do as an artist, and I've kept in touch with lots of them since then. I saw them at Epcot Festival of the Arts. Some have invited me to their homes to go have a coffee with them at Club 33. So I realized that these are not just collectors, but they're friends. So that's been a super nice part of this whole experience. Just making friends with these new collectors that really appreciate my artwork. So I'll be at the Promenade VIP show again this year for my sophomore year, and I'm hoping, I'm definitely sure I'm going to be a lot more relaxed for this event, the second one, and kind of just enjoy the process more now that I know what to expect and what it's going to be like. I'm going to try my best to keep creating the best work I can make. Every piece, I try to make it my best piece. So I realized that, becoming a Disney fine artist wasn't really kind of like the finish line, like I kind of imagined it would be. It was actually kind of like the starting line. So because just begun this whole new chapter that I have ahead of me of getting to make all this artwork and paint these characters and stories that I love. So I hope to be doing this for a long time, and it's really been a dream come true for me. So one of the things I've learned from this experience, that I try to tell my son this all the time, that I really think that, these big accomplishments or these big things don't happen overnight. It's like years of chipping away and working at it and taking small steps forward and having kind of this growth mindset where you kind of think anything is attainable over time. My son's a guitar player, so he kind of relates it to that all the time, where it's daily practice, it's the daily grind, it's the daily improvements, small steps over time. Consistency wins. So that's my mindset now. I intend to continue to apply that mindset to this and really everything I do. So if you're in a position out there where you have these dreams or aspirations, really, I do think anything is possible. We are sometimes our own limitations are in our own mind. So keep pushing forward, keep working towards it. It may take a long time, but that's okay. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, and working towards your goals. So thank you for watching, and I hope this information helps you. It inspires you to keep working towards your dreams, to keep painting, keep making art, and then I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.